In this video, I'm going to show you how to complete your interventions at the end of the school year. This video is being filmed in a pilot training server with fake students and fake data. Any likeness to a real student is purely coincidental. In order to complete my interventions that I've been doing during the school year, I'm going to navigate over to my MTSS interventions landing page. I'm going to log into Analytics and Insights, and I'll use Utility Apps and MTSS Interventions to get me over here to this page. This is my All Interventions tab, and all of my active interventions will be listed here that I have access to. In order to complete an intervention, I'm going to come here to click on the intervention name, and that will bring up my intervention. In order to complete an intervention, I need to update each student's status. I can do that en masse by going over here to the enrolled students. So I can click on enrolled students, and it's going to bring me to my students tab where all of my student status are currently set to enroll. In my example here, you may already have some that have been withdrawn due to adjustment, maybe if you have already completed. You'll need to make sure that all of your students have an updated status of either withdrawn or completed in order to complete the entire intervention. You'll notice up here at the top, the complete intervention button is gray, and when I hover over, it says one or more students are still in an enrollment status. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to update those students' statuses. I can either do that individually by choosing one of our options here next to each student. So I can say the student is completed. I can also say that the student is withdrawn due to an intervention adjustment, withdrawn no longer in district, or withdrawn refused attending service. So the student will need to have either complete or one of these three withdrawn. So you can go through and do that individually, or if you have a large group of students, you could also use the bulk actions. So what you would want to do is you would want to select your students that don't already have a complete or withdrawn status, making sure to unselect anyone that already has that status so that we're not changing that. If we're completing everybody and this student was withdrawn, we don't want to have them in our selection here. So I've selected everyone, but I've unselected Avery here because Avery already has a status. And then now my bulk actions are usable. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to change their status. So I'm going to select the new status for all of these students. I'm going to choose completed in my example and click assign new status. So now what I need to do is I need to save this status. Also notice my complete intervention page has now turned blue, so I can actually click on that button. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. I get the notification I've successfully updated, and now I'm going to click on complete intervention. What this is going to do is it's going to give me a little flyout box, and it says now that all of the students have completed the intervention, you may complete and close the intervention. So you have a completion narrative here that documents what led to the completion of this intervention. So you can put in here whatever you are planning to put. And then you'll notice this complete intervention button down at the bottom has turned blue, and I can now click it and complete the intervention. Before I do that, I do want to mention one issue that you may run into when you're trying to do this process. If you are trying to complete your intervention, and let's say I have 3 students in this intervention that I can see, and I have marked all 3 students as completed or withdrawn, but I still am not able to complete the intervention, I get an error or notification that there are still students that do not have a completed or withdrawn status. If that's the case, then that means that there are students that were enrolled in this intervention that have withdrawn from your school district, so you no longer have access to see them. In that case, what you'll need to do is have the person at your district that holds the MTSS Global Admin position for Unified Insights to go in and complete or withdraw that single or few students that are causing the hang up there. So you are not able to access them and see them because they've withdrawn, but whoever has that MTSS Global Admin, when they log in on this screen, they may see 2 additional students that you can't see. They can update their status, and then you'll be able to hit this complete intervention button. So just keep that in mind if you're getting that error, that you will need to reach out to whoever at your district has the MTSS Global Admin security role attached to them so that they can go in and complete or withdraw those individual students that may have left your school or district. And I'm going to hit this complete intervention. I get a notification that I've successfully completed my intervention. So now if you ever want to go back to that intervention and look at the data, you certainly can. It takes me back to my All Interventions page, and in order to see the completed intervention, I would use the filters here to find my completed ones. So here is my completed. I can actually click on this and open it back up to look at the data if I need to. I can still print a report for it. And if the need arises, you can also even reactivate the intervention if you needed to open it back up and actually make changes to the data. You can reactivate it if something was completed in error.